Kansas City Royals baseball is presented by your Kansas City Toyota dealers. Take a test drive today and save bucks on trucks. And by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game. It is a gorgeous night at Kauffman Stadium. Great to see the blue skies and no clouds, and especially no tarp in sight after the week of weather that the Royals just endured. 73 degrees just before first pitch, and a pretty strong wind going out to left field tonight at Kauffman Stadium. Here's the Baltimore Orioles lineup, managed by Craig Albarnez in his first season as Orioles skipper. Taylor Ward was an acquisition this past offseason. The Orioles got him in a trade with the Angels, and all he's done so far is lead the big leagues in doubles. He's got 11 of them, and then 2 spots behind him, their other big acquisition offensively, Pete Alonso, longtime New York Met, now a little bit further down I-95 and playing for the Orioles. So that is the lineup that Seth Lugo faces tonight. He makes his 5th start of the season, and Monty, so far so great. As Bridget mentioned, 1.48 ERA. That is the 5th best in Major League Baseball early on this season.
Well, he's been outstanding, exactly what we have grown to expect from Seth Lugo. Goes out there, competes, is so well prepared, and has a tremendous arsenal to throw at the opposition. Take a look at that StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. It's the 9 different pitches that we've seen so far from Seth Lugo this year. Talk about a variety pack. I mean, this really encompasses everything from the 71-mile-an-hour slow curve to the sinker that he gets up in the low to mid-90s. So a wide variety, and that's why he's been so effective, just going out there, mixing his pitches, and having a great idea on how to attack hitters. Another thing he's great at is putting the ball in play. We've got that left side of the infield with the gold. He's a gold glover himself, but pretty typical lineup from what we're seeing for the Royals. And Carter Jensen, opportunity behind the plate with Salvador Perez DH.
And then behind Carter Jensen is a home plate umpire, Quinn Wolcott. That's Adrian Johnson. He's the crew chief. He's over at second base tonight. And Brock Ballou is at first. And Paul Clemens is our umpire at third. And there is Quinn Wolcott ready to call balls and strikes tonight and render any ABS challenges that may come our way. Now, Lugo last time out was really good again. It was a quality start for him. 3rd time in 4 outings this season. 6 2/3 innings, 1 run allowed. He struck out 7. The big number there that was impressive, Monty, was the walks column. 0 walks against the Tigers, and that was an offense that we saw that was pretty pesky.
Yeah, very good offense, very selective offense. For him to throw no walks up there, a special occasion for him. And I think run support's going to be key for getting Seth Lugo in the win column tonight here.
And these are 2 teams that have struggled to score runs overall, and especially early in games. So who throws the first punch tonight? Seth Lugo throws the first pitch, and it's in for a strike.
640, temperature is 72 degrees with winds at 13 miles an hour out of the south-southwest.
Ball and a strike on Gunnar Henderson, who has been off to a powerful start so far this season. He's already got 7 home runs this year, only had 17 last year. Didn't quite get the bottom of the zone. 3-1 on Henderson. And there are the home run leaders. We've seen most of them already so far this season. Just saw Aaron Judge and Ben Rice. Saw Munetaka Murakami on the last homestand. Mike Trout will be here this weekend when the Angels come to town. (3-2). And Henderson stays alive.
Yeah, Henderson being selective up there, making Seth Lugo work here. One thing a leadoff hitter wants to do is see some pitches, and certainly Henderson doing that.
There have been home runs for Henderson, but also a good amount of strikeouts. And he takes ball 4. Pretty close pitch early on, no challenge.
Close pitch, and unfortunately, I think we may have jinxed Seth Lugo talking about the no free passes on his last outing, but unfortunately this one probably could have been challenged and maybe gotten a strike out of it.
It's a tough thing too. That pitch is close, but it's also the very first batter of the game, and you want to be 100% certain if you're going to use a challenge that early. Or you can just do that, pick him off first.
I don't think they got the note on his outstanding pickoff move. Seth Lugo, really good. We'll take a look at this with his feet. I mean, his feet are just amazingly fast, and he's been so good at the pickoffs over his career.
And Gunnar Henderson was lingering at first, thinking that Craig Albernaz might challenge.
Yeah, that footwork, that's the real key for a pickoff. And as a pitcher, you don't necessarily want to pick the guy off every time. You'll take it. You want to keep him close really more than anything.
So that's why Carter Jensen didn't challenge. He knew what was coming. There is strike one on Taylor Ward. Well, once upon a time, certainly plenty of rumors that figured he might be wearing the Royals jersey. But he winds up this offseason going to the Orioles in a trade. The Orioles in turn send Grayson Rodriguez to the Angels. Rodriguez is on the injured list. He has yet to throw a pitch for the Angels. And this is why the Orioles wanted to get him. 36 home runs, 103 RBIs. It was a career year for Taylor Ward.
Oh, I think he would fit pretty well in about any lineup in Major League Baseball.
The Orioles have him hitting second. They've more or less flipped him and Gunnar Henderson depending upon the handedness of the pitcher. Ward's hit leadoff a handful of times against lefties. And he held the swing, 1-2.
Yeah, good 0-2 pitch right there. Throws a slider, starts as a strike, ends as a ball, but Ward able to lay off that one.
And that's hit well deep to center field. Isbell turns the numbers. It's over his head and one hops into the fence. Taylor Ward leads the majors in doubles, and he adds to his tally. That is his 12th double already this season.
Location so important on regardless of the pitch. We'll take a look. This is a four-seamer, just kind of drifts back to the middle, and it's actually belt high. So essentially half the work was done for Ward there, enabling him to hit that ball over Isbell's head. Isbell gets a lot of those balls. Unfortunately, didn't get the jump on that one.
So a runner in scoring position for Dylan Beavers. And that's a hot shot to second. Michael Massey's right there. 2 outs. Ward moves over to third. And now a matchup of former teammates. Lugo and Pete Alonso were both members of the Mets for a long time, and now Alonso is in a different jersey for the first time in his career. But if anybody knows about the kind of kitchen sink that Seth Lugo has to offer, it is somebody like Pete Alonso. He has done well against the Royals over the course of his career. That's somewhat of an understatement. I'm not really sure, Monty, who's ever going to dethrone Rubio Durazo, but Alonso's pretty close.
Well, he's been a force against a lot of teams. Unfortunately, he's had his number when the Royals have played against his former team, the Mets, and he's been a force.
Alonso was here at Kauffman Stadium last year when the Mets were in town.
And really, a lot like a lot of the Royals guys you're expecting to have big power numbers. Alonso still looking to get on track from what his typical numbers would be at this stage of the year.
Now that's called strike 3. Got him looking with his sinker. It's a scoreless first for Seth Lugo. Well, Monty, one of your keys was get on the board early. The Royals only have one first-inning run this season. That did come on a Michael Garcia leadoff home run a couple of weeks ago. He has been much better at home this year, a .359 average at Kauffman Stadium. That is the lineup that Kyle Bradish faces tonight, his 5th start of the season. .549 ERA, a little bit higher than he's had in recent years. spiked after he gave up 4 runs on 8 hits his last start. So first pitch fastball and then a sinker. Fastball's a little bit strange to see from Bradish. That is not a pitch he throws all that often.
Good chance you'll see a slider right here, as he loves his slider.
Right on cue. 1-2 on Michael. 0 for 4 yesterday. 3 for 24 on the road trip. Certainly makes those home road splits a little more extreme.
Good job of Michael Garcia laying off that slider that Bradish essentially wants him to fish for, that out of the zone and get some weak contact or swing and a miss. So nice job by Michael driving us into a 3-2 count.
21 total strikeouts for Bradish this season, little over a strikeout per inning. And Garcia sends it back up the middle. Leadoff single. No doubt he's happy to be back at home.
Yeah, and he loves playing at home. We'll take a look at Bradish's mix here against lefties and righties during the 26 campaign, and see a lot of sinker slider there, really on both sides. More curveballs against lefties, so that's really his MO against lefties. He's going to use a curveball a lot more than he does against the right-handers.
You see that low percentage for 4-seamers against righties. That's why it was so surprising to see him throw that first pitch to Garcia. And when Bradish is facing a right-handed hitter, it's basically 90% slider sinker, and it's about 50% slider.
Well, the thing about those two pitches, they go opposite directions, so they work very well off of each other.
Now, with that kind of pitch mix, Bradish does get a lot of ground balls. He's got one of the higher ground ball rates among starters. Slider is a big reason why. The sinker too. He's throwing the slider more, but the results have not been the same. Two balls, no strikes on Bobby. And he held his swing, 3-0. So after Bradish got ahead of Garcia 0-2, now 6 of his last 7 pitches have been out of the zone. And the only one of those that was in the zone, Garcia hit back up the middle. And that's right in for a strike.
That's a pitch that Bobby Witt would love to see come once again during this plate appearance.
Still in search of his first home run this year. Well, I got the sinker.
Almost to me like Bobby was looking for a breaking ball in both of those last 2 pitches, since he got sinking fastballs in the middle part of the strike zone that he certainly could have done some damage on.
And he comes up empty on the breaking ball. Well, Bradish battles back from 3-0 to get the strikeout.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, and one noticeable missing player, catcher Adley Russman, still injured, so Samuel Basayo is going to be behind the dish, and have a typical lineup against the righty Seth Lugo on the hill for the Orioles.
Well, the Orioles early on this season have been beset by injuries. I mean, it feels like they've got more or less an entire starting lineup on the injured list between Adley Rutschman and Jackson Holliday, who is yet to play a game in the big leagues this season. Tyler O'Neill is on the injured list. That gets away from Basayo. He doesn't know where it is. Garcia takes second. He thought about third. So a wild pitch.
And this wild pitch almost led to 2 bases. Basayo unable to find the ball immediately. Michael thinking about going to third base.
So runner in scoring position for Vinny Pasquantino. Early on in this game, Monty, we've seen both Pete Alonso and now Vinny Pasquantino have a chance with a runner in scoring position. Those are the two that have had more plate appearances with runners in scoring position than anybody else since the start of last year. Hey, look at that. Hot corner. 246 plate appearances with runners in scoring position for Vinny. One more than Pete Alonso.
Hey, keep giving him to Vinny. He's going to come out of this thing and be the RBI machine that we're accustomed to seeing.
He went after the high heat, and now it's 3-2 again. So second straight batter. Bradish has fallen behind 3-0 and gotten the count back to 3-2. And now all 3 hitters have seen a 3-2 count. Garcia went the opposite direction, 0-2 to 3-2. Now that's ball 4.
Good sign when Vinny's taking his walks, because he's seeing the ball much better. We know he's a selective hitter, and he's taking his walks. He's going to start seeing more pitches. He's going to make good decisions on doing some damage.
Did you notice just now, Monty, Vinny stop and talk to Salvi right before he came to the plate?
I did.
What do you think he might be telling him?
Maybe something a little different than what they were expecting from their game planning.
Rolled third base side, bare hand try. Alexander can't handle it. Salvi's safe. The bases are loaded. Infield hit for Salvador Perez.
Ball doesn't travel fast or very far, and it's just one of those plays where it's a do-or-die play. Fortunately for Salvador Perez, able to reach and a hit with the runner in scoring position.
Maybe not exactly what you had in mind, but it does count that way. And now Jensen comes up empty. I wonder if what Vinny was saying to Salvi is that they're seeing a little bit more of a four-seam fastball than maybe they expected. Now Bradish does throw it more often to lefties than he does against righties, but he has mixed in a few more of those than maybe they anticipated. That's back-to-back heaters for Jensen, and he's now in an 0-2 hole. Jensen did not play yesterday in the Bronx, but he did have a home run on Saturday. He now leads the team with 5 homers. These are the chances that the Royals have not consistently taken advantage of early on this season. That almost got away from Basayo.
Take a look at Basayo. Really kind of gloved it cleanly, just didn't stick. Unfortunately, kept it in front.
He is a highly touted prospect, considered to be a Rookie of the Year candidate. He is still only 21 years old. He's the third youngest player in baseball to begin the year. 1-2 to Jensen. And Basayo knocks it away. I bet you didn't think you'd find a catcher younger than Carter to start this year.
Well, a really nice block here. This one's not as easy because this is way in front of the plate. So certainly got to use that body as a way to stop that ball from going either direction.
Bradish is about to throw his 25th pitch of this inning. Roll to the right side. Shovel to second. Relay to first is in time to get Jensen. And that ends the inning. Well, the Royals had the bases loaded with 1 out, but failed to score in the bottom of the first. No challenge from Matt Quatrero. And through the first inning, we're scoreless.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. A quick injury update for you for the Royals from the University of Kansas Health Systems. Jonathan India is headed to the 10-day IL retroactive to yesterday, April 19th. It was listed as a left shoulder subluxation. Q told us India has had a chronic shoulder issue and it just wasn't getting any better. He said he's aggravated it a few times on dives and it's something he's going to have to get checked out. He wasn't playing at 100% and we need a healthy India. So with India headed to the IL, Nick Lofton was recalled from AAA. Jake.
Bridget, thanks so much. Great stuff. And may I say, well done with subluxation. I had to practice that one a few times today.
Same.
Monty, you up on your subluxations?
Unfortunately, I know a little more about it than I would like to. It's essentially when your shoulder joint kind of slides a little out of joint and it's just not stable, and you got to strengthen it and find a way to get it to not sublux.
India did deal with that a little bit last season too. There was a diving play that he made, and that was something that lingered for a little bit at points last year. Now full count on Samuel Basayo. Again, third youngest player on an opening day roster this season. He is 21 years old. He made his big league debut last August, 4 days after his 21st birthday. And that's ball 4. So second straight inning, Monty, with a leadoff walk for Seth Lugo.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic for Seth Lugo to walk anyone, especially in 2 guys in 2 innings.
He has now walked 8 total batters this season. The walk rate is down from what it was last year. That's a good thing. All 8 of the walks, however, have been to left-handed hitters. This is Jeremiah Jackson. Might not be a name that you're familiar with, but he has been red hot for the Orioles. Five home runs in his last 10 games, 13 RBIs of his 17 total. 17 RBIs lead the team. Roll to the left side. Could be 2. Massey's got the turn, and there's a double play.
We know the importance of good defense, finding ways to take advantage of outs when you can get them, and especially if you have a chance to get 2 with 1 swing of the bat. Seth Lugo has wiped out both of those walks, one with a pick-off, and now one's a double play ball.
It was just a couple of starts ago that Lugo had 3 ground ball double plays turned behind him, and then there was 1 in his last start against the Tigers. He's now already had 5 double plays behind him this season, and this is his 5th start.
Well, you get that weak contact and as many pitches he throws.
It's the second time already that something has been said, and Quinn Wolcott was very forceful in making sure that Craig Albernaz was aware that he's not doing that, whatever that may be. A 1 to Colton Cowser, and he takes a strike. 0-2. First season for Craig Albernaz as the Orioles manager. He was Stephen Vogt's bench coach / assistant manager the last couple of years in Cleveland. Appeal to third. He went around. Strike 3. And despite a leadoff walk, Seth Lugo faces the minimum in a scoreless second.
We all
Look at our Xfinity player profile. This is 29-year-old Kyle Bradish, who had Tommy John surgery after his first 8 starts in 2024, and they were good starts in 2024. Well, the year before, Monty, 2023, he was 4th in Cy Young voting. And so the Orioles were really counting on him a couple of years ago, and they were happy to get him back at the tail end of last season.
Well, outstanding stuff. We know that, and has dealt with that elbow issue a couple of times, ended up having a Tommy John surgery, but seemingly coming back and close to what he was prior to the surgery.
Made 6 starts last year after his return in August, and you saw 2.53 ERA. And since the beginning of 2023, the year that he was top 4 in Cy Young, 2.98 overall ERA. It's actually the 10th best in all of baseball among pitchers that have thrown at least 250 innings. It's all to say that Kyle Bradish, when he's been on the mound, has been very good, though he has not had the sharpest command tonight. Feels like everybody has had a 3-ball count. Back in the zone against Massey, 3-1. Did a double take there. What do you got on that stash?
It's growing on me.
I think it's growing on him too. In the air to left, fairly deep. Taylor Ward drifts back, and he's got it on the track. 1 away. I noticed there were a number of guys that came to the K today rocking the mustache. Well, Michael Massey had a mustache today. Carter Jensen had a mustache today. Vinny Pasquantino had a mustache today. Noah Cameron had a mustache today.
That's what I noticed the most. He didn't have that beard going.
Jack Caglione has the mustache, but also the beard.
Yeah, Monty, I got to chime in here because I saw Noah Cameron in the dugout when he came out, and I had to do like a quadruple take. I did not recognize who that was. He shaved off all of his facial hair, but yes, I can confirm all of them have mustaches now, so I will be doing my investigative reporting on this.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to need some intrepid facial hair journalism, Bridget.
There's Noah.
New look Noah.
Yeah, I thought he was a new player as well.
Yeah.
If he didn't have a glove that was on his right hand signifying he's a lefty, I wouldn't, maybe without the clue, I wouldn't have got it.
You know, there have been a handful of roster moves. Caglione drives it, and well, deep to center. Could it be? It is his first home run of the year. That is how you start a homestand.
Great sign for Jack Caglione. First home run of the season for him, and he gets a fastball middle part of the strike zone and punishes this. 110 off the bat, dead central. No doubter.
That was loud. And I'll tell you what, Monty, that is a swing and a result that just feels cathartic. And now Collins breaks his bat and flares one to left. Perhaps the tide is starting to turn.
Jake, I was listening to Rex and Joel in the pregame show, and Rex was talking about Jack Caglione taking his base hits, using the entire field, and good things will happen with the power. And sure enough, hey, this is a good sign too for Isaac Collins. A little broken bat action. He'll take the knock.
Snaps an 0 for 8 with Collins since he had that tumble over the railing in Detroit. So a runner on for Kyle Isbell. I did not have a chance to see Izzy before the game today. I was wondering if he had shaved off the beard and gone mustache like some of the other guys, or if he had kept the full beard. We have our answer.
I don't know if anybody would recognize Izzy without a beard.
That's what I'm saying. when I saw Noah, that was the first person that I thought of other than him that you would have had to figure out if there was somebody else coming up from AAA that we hadn't yet had the chance to meet. Hooked foul. 1-2.
You know, Jake, if the Royals are able to snap this skid they're on the 7-gamer, it may be like the old swinging A's when they all had to have mustaches.
Whatever works, right?
Bring him back.
Jack's got the goatee. And that's working just fine after his home run earlier this inning. Isbell's down looking. Second strikeout for Bradish tonight.
Izzy may have been looking for an off-speed pitch, but he's got a two-seam fastball up in the zone, just barely clipped that top corner of that box.
Back around to the top, and Michael Garcia. Bradish is already about to throw his 40th pitch. Needed 25 pitches in the first inning, and the Royals let him off the hook. Royals had the bases loaded and only one out, but failed to score. Shot through the hole. Another hit for Garcia. Collins stops at second.
I think Michael got a slider here that is able to put some really good contact in and get out in front of it. Really nice to see that. 104 off the bat, so very, very good swing from Michael Garcia. 2 now on the evening.
And every now and again, those numbers that we take a look at and share, like Garcia's home road splits, they do tell the story. Back at home, and he's 2 for 2. It was a tough at bat for Bobby Witt Jr. his first time around. Had a 3-0 count. And then Bradish brought it back to 3-2. And Witt struck out swinging on a slider. That is now the 8th consecutive game with a strikeout for Bobby.
I know the Orioles keeping a close eye on Bradish with regards to his workload, his pitch counting. Already at 41 here in just the second inning, so not a good sign for the Orioles.
So far this year, the Orioles rotation has an ERA that's bottom 3rd in baseball, 4.39 ERA. They have not gotten all that much length from their starters. Only 5 quality starts for them this season. Orioles bullpen, however, has been very, very good. That has arguably been the more consistent part of their team over the course of the entire year. Two and 2 on Bobby Witt Jr.
Jake, to expand on your point on their bullpen, that's why early leads are so important against teams that have lockdown bullpens. You have to find a way to get those runs before that bullpen comes in in, say, the 6th inning or so. So getting early runs, we talked about in the open, very important for this team.
The Royals have scored first tonight on Jack Caglianone's home run. Witt golfs it shallow center. Long run for Leody Taveras, and he gets there to end the inning. But Jack Caglianone has a 1 in the home run column. How about that swing from Cags? Well, this is timely. Jack Caglianone, Blazing Bat bobblehead. One of the first 15,000 fans of the K. Be here May 4th, and you can get your very own Jack bobblehead. Tickets at royals.com/promotions. He's got, this is what it says. I'm just reading the card here. Quote, magma moonshot power. I think HUD might have written that one.
I believe that too.
That sounds like a HUD phrase. Leody Taveras gets it off the end of the bat. And then Michael Massey wants it. He's got it. One away. So Seth Lugo's got a run of support. And from a team that has not scored much early in the game, neither have the Orioles. This is entering tonight. The Royals and Orioles each had the fewest runs within the first 3 innings of a game in baseball this year. 17 apiece. 17 total runs in the first 3 innings. And now 18 for the Royals after Cag's homer. Oh, and 2 now on Blaze Alexander. You may remember C.J. Alexander from a couple of years ago. He made his big league debut with the Royals. Blaze is C.J.'s younger brother. Blaze had been with the Diamondbacks and then got traded to the Orioles and might not have expected to be in the more or less everyday role that he's been in, but this is where the Orioles have found themselves, Monty, with all the injuries that they're currently dealing with.
Hey, it's opportunity. Get an opportunity, you take advantage of it. We talked earlier about the impact that Jeremiah Johnson's had on their team. That was all based on the opportunity presented to him. Seth Lugo expands the strike zone a little bit here on this, like a two-seamer up. Just maybe a cut fastball, actually. Excellent pitching.
3 Ks for Lugo, first time through the lineup. He's only allowed 1 hit. And then he's got Henderson out in front.
Hey, Jake, we've talked about run support. I mentioned the importance of getting Seth Lugo some runs, and he's only got 6 runs of support, now 7 counting tonight's runs in his first 4+ starts. So hopefully get him some runs on top of this one.
Jensen wants a challenge.
Challenge in the call ball.
So ABS powered by T-Mobile. Salvi has been fantastic at these. Carter Jensen takes a crack, and he's correct.
Balls overturned, pitches a strike. Kansas City has 2 challenges remaining.
So Jensen gets the strike for Lugo. And
I think Lugo knew that was a strike as well.
if I'm not mistaken, that would have been the first challenge for Lugo this year. Call strike 3, slider on the corner. 4 Ks for Lugo in 3 scoreless. Boxing in the Kansas City region. For the past 12 years, he's served as president of the Kansas City Golden Gloves, an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that supports Olympic-style boxing gyms and athletes throughout the area. Under Chris's leadership, the KC Golden Gloves has continued to host Kansas City's longest-running sporting event, the KC Golden Gloves Regional Championships, which recently celebrated its 91st annual tournament. Chris, welcome to the K.
Chris looked like he was showing off maybe a pretty good left hook there. Nice work, Chris.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was ready to bob and weave. It is the Royals who have thrown the first punch in tonight's game, with Jack Caglione's solo homer in the second. .48 pitches for Kyle Bradish. He's thrown at least 20 pitches, Monty, in each of his first 2 innings. And it really does feel like most every Royals hitter has seen a 3-ball count.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's something that The more pitches they see, the better chance they have of putting themselves in a position for success.
Vinny has already drawn 1 walk tonight. And there's ball 4. It is a lovely night for a stroll, both for Vinny and the Pasquatch above the Royals Hall of Fame. And now a message from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
Beautiful night. Starting to see a little bit of that sunset on the horizon, Monty.
Really good to see this baseball type weather.
Now there has been, I don't know if you've felt this, but such a lack of rhythm so far this season for the Royals, whether it's been pre-game rain delays or postponements or playing in the rain like a couple of weeks ago against the Twins. You know, in a season that has so many games and so many people that rely on routine, I don't know, it just feels like there's been a very distinct lack of that normal routine, that normal grind. It's been a different kind of grind early on this year.
Well, you're right. And we heard Matt Quintero talking about that in his pregame. And he was talking about, hey, every other team has to deal with it as well. But, you know, it seems like we've had our maybe unfair share of those type of delays. And he's right. You have to play that team on that given night. But seemingly this entire season they've dealt with some issue at some point or another.
Salvi pokes it to right, and that's down for a hit. And Salvi's 2 for 2. You don't have to hit it hard.
Hey, we know Salvador Perez has some tremendous reach, and it doesn't have to be a strike for Salvador to have success. And look how far he goes down after this ball. I mean, the ball's really maybe below knee high and out off the plate, but just enough to get it to right field.
Very nice swing from Salvador Perez. He's been dealing with that right hip soreness. He half jokingly said the other day for the last 7 years. But that is why he's the DH in tonight's game. And now Jensen serves one to left. Everybody goes station to station. And here we go. Bases loaded, nobody out. Can the Royals break through?
Well, this inning looks good so far. Carter Jensen, 2-seamer away, really a little bit off the plate. Probably not even a strike, but that's one thing that Carter Jensen does such a nice job of, is using the entire field. If the pitch is away, he hits it away, and just a really good swing decision on his behalf.
Mound visit here for Kyle Bradish. This is pitching coach Drew French out to have a conversation. By the way, win big for a great cause by playing the Royals 50-50 raffle. This is new for the 2026 season. There's going to be a winner announced during every single home game. So 81 winners. That means 81 chances for you to win. Half of all proceeds go to the Kansas City Royals Foundation and their mission. You can play at the K here at the ballpark, or you can play online. Royals.com/5050. A winner every night. We've seen some pretty big jackpots so far this year. And already up near 10K tonight. We're not even done with the third inning. Bases loaded for Massey. The Orioles have brought the infield in. Bases loaded, nobody out. Peel to third, and Massey held.
So important here for Michael Massey to find a way to get a runner in and get a runner over. Even if it's a productive out, have some success to set yourself up for a crooked number in this inning.
See Bobby Witt Jr. in the background there, signaling safe, no swing. It is no secret, not that you need a reminder either, The Royals have struggled with runners in scoring position. Entered tonight hitting 195 in these spots. Bradish knocks it down. He gets the out at home, and Massey beats the relay. So still bases loaded, but now 1 out.
Royals probably a little fortunate here that Bradish was not going to get the old 1-2-3 double play. If he hadn't dropped this ball, it probably was going to be a double play and put the Royals in a much more difficult situation as far as getting a run across. Still here, only 1 out. A lot of opportunity for Big Jack.
Homered his first time up. Busy night so far for Samuel Basallo, don't you think?
Yeah, he has. He's done a really nice job of keeping the ball in front of him. Almost all these have been breaking balls as well, so a lot of spin to deal with. He's demonstrated tremendous technique.
That's a good curveball. 1-1.
Take another look at Jack Cagnon's first home run of the season. Four-seamer, up in the strike zone, middle part of the plate. Really did exactly what you would expect a big league hitter to do and not miss it. And that one looked like a big swing there.
That was a big swing.
That was not the swing we've seen him take when he's had success.
The home run did extend his hitting streak to 6 games. And he's now got 3 extra base hits in his last 6 games, including the homer tonight. And a good job to lay off that curveball.
Well, Bradish certainly not afraid to bounce that slow curveball in front of the plate, trying to get Jack Cagnon to fish for that.
Big swing and a miss on the back foot slider.
Take a look at the slider here to finish off Jack. It was a really good pitch. Probably going to be called a strike if he didn't swing at it, but really not a lot he could do. Just the location of that pitch was essentially the difference maker in the outcome.
Well, the Royals now only have 1 out to work with in this inning. In this bases loaded spot. They let Bradish off the hook in the bottom of the first. And the Royals had the bases loaded with 1 out, but Carter Jensen grounded into an inning-ending double play. They've made Bradish throw a lot of pitches. He's thrown at least 20 pitches in all 3 innings, but we have not seen the knockout blow.
He just keeps throwing that breaking ball down below the strike zone. Royals hitters continue to chase it, especially the lefties. They get that curveball rather than the slider, just rolls off the table.
So far tonight, Monty, the Royals are 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, but neither of those 2 hits plated a run.
Very unfortunate. Need that timely hitting. Need to get it when it really matters.
Collins singled his first time up, traded a bat for a knock. That is a trade a hitter will make every single time. And he comes up empty on the slider. That's strike 3. And the Royals squander a golden opportunity. Bases loaded, nobody out, but the Royals leave them loaded.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Royals, the official source for your Kansas City Royals gear.
That's in the air to straightaway right. And Jack Caglione has it lined up. 1 pitch, 1 out for Seth Lugo on the heels of Relish's win. How about Mustard and Ketchup there taking a tumble?
There were little shenanigans there on that race.
Something was going on.
Ketchup tried cheating, and then a wipeout between Mustard and Ketchup.
Yeah, we can't have that. But no doubt they will relish the victory. Couldn't help it. 0-1 to Dylan Beavers. Lugo stranded a runner at third base back in the first inning. He has only allowed 1 hit tonight. That was Taylor Ward's double. He just flied out to right. Softly carved to Garcia. Strong throw to get him. They call it a gold glove. The arm is a part of that defensive package.
Well, it really was there. Dylan Beavers getting down first base line in a hurry, but Michael recognized that and exposed that cannon from third base.
Pete Alonso takes a strike. He's now 31 years old. Second round pick by the Mets back in 2016. And was out of the University of Florida. And very quickly he became one of the most prolific power hitters of this generation. A rookie record 53 homers in 2019. He was Rookie of the Year. And before he joined the Orioles, he became the Mets' all-time leader in home runs. Called strike 3. Alonso wants to challenge. Lugo dropped in that slow curve. And he dropped it in perfectly. ABS powered by T-Mobile. 5 Ks for Lugo, 4 scoreless. The Royals are celebrating nurses and healthcare workers. Enjoy themed activations and snag a special Royals nurses hat when you purchase a themed ticket. Pick your item up at 3 separate games Nurses Weekend, May 8th through May 10th. Get tickets at royals.com/nurses. One nothing Royals, bottom of the 4th. Though the Royals could certainly have more. 1 run on 7 hits. And the Royals have stranded 7 on base through the first 3 innings. Somehow, some way, Monty, Kyle Bradish has tiptoed out of danger.
He's been Mr. Houdini this evening.
All those pitches, all those base runners. And just the 1 run. 70 pitches already for Kyle Bradish. The Royals are no stranger to close games. And certainly no stranger to being on the wrong end of a close game, but we talk about it a lot. The thinner those margins are, the more razor thin they are, and the more pressure there is to be perfect for all 9. That's 5 Ks now for Bradish, and in fact he's struck out each of the last 3 he's faced.
Yeah, this is a fastball. It's got that 2-seam life, just moves right away from Kyle Isbell. Probably looking for an off-speed pitch, but he got the fastball.
A lot of sinkers the last few days, huh?
Yeah.
Bradish, Ryan Weathers yesterday, Will Warren the other night. Tip your cap to Warren and Weathers. They were both really good. Warren especially was particularly impressive. It's been an impressive night for Michael Garcia. He's 2 for 2. Infield dribbler. Bradish tried to barehand off his fingertips. Make him 3 for 3.
Well, I think Michael will take him any way he can get him. Put the ball in play, you have a chance for success, and sure enough, that was probably a better play for third baseman than Bradish. I think if you're going to field it as a pitcher barehanded, it better be on the ground. That's a tough play.
Even if he does get that cleanly, he's going to have a tough time throwing him out. Even if Alexander got that cleanly, it would have been tough. It's now 2 3-hit games this year for Michael. Wonder if we see him in motion.
One thing I've learned is the Orioles have paid a lot of attention to holding runners on this year. They've really made an effort to try to limit the opposition from stealing bases. They do a lot of back picks, a lot of throwovers. They do a lot to try to stabilize that running game.
Garcia takes off. Pitches a strike. Basayo's throw on the money. And an excellent tag from Jeremiah Jackson. It was going to take a perfect throw, and Basayo delivered. That's the 3rd runner that he's caught stealing this year.
Take a look at our Whataburger, what a play, what a throw. I mean, it was right on the money on the first base side of the second base bag. Just really catch and receive, and Jackson even put the easy tag on Michael.
Jackson didn't even have to move his glove, really. Smack to left. And Witt's got a hit. That certainly makes the caught stealing sting a little more. Do you like the aggressiveness anyway?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you got to try to make some things happen. And here's Bobby. We'd love to have Michael on the base with only 1 out, 114 off his bat. I love to see what we're seeing from Bobby here lately. Starting to get his base hits. Just like we talked with Jack Cagley, the power will come. He will have some home runs here very shortly.
Now, the lack of home runs early on this season, while surprising, sure, is not so different from what we've seen from him over the last couple of Aprils. Last year, Bobby only had 2 home runs through the end of April. Finished with 23. A couple of years ago, he had 4 home runs through the end of April. That's when he had a career high 32. So as the temperature heats up, so too comes the power. Tap back to the mound. And Bradish makes the play. Couple of more hits for the Royals against Bradish, but nothing to show for it. 9 hits, but only 1 run.
Well, Jake, we talk so much about the importance of getting ahead of hitters, and we'll take it Seth Lugo tonight here. 11 of 13 first pitch strikes, and used 5 different pitches to do that. So just really what I'll call typical Seth Lugo. Variety of pitches, has a plan, uses all those pitches to be very effective.
5 Ks for Lugo through his 4 scoreless so far. Samuel Basayo hits one fairly deep. Right center field. Isbell slips. Oh, he made the catch anyway. Of course he did.
What a play.
Of course he did.
The ball was hit really well, and they were playing him really kind of the opposite field. I think Kyle Isbell may have overran that just a hair, so at the end had to come back and catch that over his head. What an effort. Basayo not happy.
No, Basayo's beside himself. Well, 1 pitch, 1 out for Lugo for the 2nd straight inning, by the way. And there's ball 1 on Jeremiah Jackson. Lugo got him to ground into a double play last time around. It's towered foul, 1-1. Well, those first pitch strikes didn't happen this at bat, but it's all part of what keeps Lugo in rhythm. Now, there's such a cadence to the way that he pitches, especially with the bases empty. You see him go to the pitch comm on his right hip. He's calling the pitches. Few are more up-tempo. This is the time between one pitch thrown and then the next pitch thrown. Lugo averages just under 13 seconds between pitches with the bases empty. That is tied for 9th fastest in baseball. He wants to keep those hitters on their heels.
Jake, a lot of that, having that game plan, understanding what he's going to do with each hitter, first time through, second time through, third time through that lineup, and he knows he has a plan, and you can tell when he gets the ball back, he's ready to go. He's already hit the pitch comm, letting the catcher know exactly what he's going to try to do.
Sprayed to right, and it hangs up for Caglione. 2 gone. That is one thing, Monty, that Seth has said about using pitch comm and being able to call his own pitches and call his own game, is that since he has those wheels spinning before each pitch, after each pitch, before he even gets the ball back, he can start making those signals, and that speeds it up even more. You know, he said that the faster he can work and the faster he can throw strikes, the harder it is for those hitters to make decisions.
Yeah, I can attest to that. Even though we never had the pitch comm, if you're on sync with your catcher, you know what he's going to put down before that ball gets back in your glove, and you can go right to work and really kind of take advantage of being in command.
It's probably a little easier when you're thinking about 2 pitches.
Yeah.
A little different for Seth with 9, but did you like that kind of rhythm, that kind of tempo?
Oh, I love it. I mean, the faster you work, the more effective you're going to be, the more the infielders and the outfielders are going to make plays behind you.
There's a perfect curveball. 2-2. .60 pitches for Seth. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Make it 6 Ks for Seth Lugo through 5 scoreless. What a gorgeous look from our Rally House rally cam. Sunset over Kauffman Stadium. That is especially pretty after the rough weather over the last week. Heard about all the thunderstorms and the wind and the hail while we were away. Clear skies tonight and a 1-0 Royals lead. Two hits so far for Salvador Perez. An infield hit and a softer single the opposite way. And he cracks it deep to center. Taveras is back onto the track. Just enough room. He got just under it. And wouldn't you know it, the hardest hit ball that he's got tonight is the one that doesn't result in a hit.
You know, that's baseball. And if he could have got out a little bit in front of this pitch, probably would have driven it into the stands or left center field, but hit it almost dead central where you have to hit it well over 410 to get it out of here. But good to see Salvador's got a couple hits to show for his evening and a hard hit ball. See what he does next time.
Carter Jensen has a hit tonight. He singled in the third. The Royals have 9 hits in this game. That is a season high in hits allowed for Kyle Bradish. He did yield 8 hits to the Diamondbacks in his last start. That was over 6 innings. He gave up 4 runs. His career high in hits allowed is 11. That came back his rookie year in 2022. In the air to right, and Colton Cowser is underneath it. 2 away. Now a message from Minsky's Pizza.
Introducing the 50th Anniversary Edition Wagyu Prime Cut Gourmet Pizza from Minsky's. Made with premium American Wagyu ground beef from Booth Creek Wagyu. Available for a limited time only while supplies last. Order now at Minskys.com.
Massey's 0 for 2. Still just his 12th game this season after he started the year on the injured list with that calf strain. And now Monty, in the wake of Jonathan India going on the injured list with that left shoulder subluxation, likely a lot more of Michael Massey specifically at second base. We've seen him at second and in left.
He's a great defender. We know that. It's great to have the versatility, but I always think of Michael Massey as being a really good defensive second baseman.
He was a minor league Gold Glover a handful of years ago. Hooked it foul. Well, I always thought coming up through the minors that winning a minor league Gold Glove was in some ways more difficult. I'm sure the plays that you make are not quite the same, but the amount of competition you have, because it's across all of minor league baseball.
Right, a lot more players to compete
against. A lot more players. He's down looking, and that is Kyle Bradish's first 1-2-3 inning tonight. Only needed 9 pitches.
Flight.
Kansas City Royals baseball is presented by Circus Sports and Properties and by your local Kansas City Honda dealers. Beautiful night in Kansas City. Start of a homestand at Kauffman Stadium. 3 against the Orioles. Off day Thursday. 3 against the Angels this weekend. And so far tonight, a 1-0 Royals lead. And Seth Lugo is humming right along. 5 shutout innings. He has struck out 6 so far tonight. He has retired each of the last 11 batters that he's faced. We're seeing vintage Seth so far tonight.
Yeah, he looks spectacular. I mean, really everything that we've come to know about him as far as his approach, his aggressiveness, the way that he uses all of the pitches. Take a look at his mix here this evening. A lot of sinkers, a lot of four-seam sinker or cutter, a lot of fastball combinations there in his top 3.
Ripped down the line and foul. At a quick glance, the only one missing there is the slurve. We haven't seen a slurve yet. So we do not quite yet have Seth Lugo pitch type bingo.
I'm amazed at how he's able to get all those pitches on the pitch com.
That was close. Full count on Leody Taveras, former World Series champ with the Rangers. Spent some time with the Mariners last year too. And now he is an Oriole. Another example of a player seeing maybe more time than initially expected because of the injuries that the Orioles have dealt with. Soft pop up. And Garcia's there, 1 away.
Take a look here at Seth Lugo this evening. Again, just like you mentioned, vintage Seth Lugo. Strike to ball with the breaking ball. And changes eye level with that fastball up. So many things he can do, and that called third strike. Alonso thought that one was a ball. 69-mile-an-hour curveball at the top of the zone. That's so different for pitchers now to pitch breaking balls at the top of the zone. I haven't seen that for a while.
Broken bat, left center field, and Collins runs it down. You know, it's interesting too, Monty. East and west, the sides of the plate are the same. Plate's still 17 inches apart, but north and south, top and bottom with ABS, that top and bottom of the strike zone is different for every hitter. Now, of course, that's only true when a pitch is challenged, but pitchers, including Seth Lugo, still maybe have to think about the top of the zone being different for some hitters than it is for others when they're trying to use that top rail with a fastball or get something called at the bottom of the zone. Sharp grounder. Massey's there to flash the leather. Inning over. 6 shutout innings for Seth Lugo. He has dominated the Orioles so far tonight. Our Sonic Slam inning contestant for tonight is Bobby Huska from Leawood, Kansas. If a Royals player hits a home run this inning, Bobby wins $1,300. If it's a grand slam, Bobby will win $25,000. You visit the QR code for more information on how you can be a Sonic Slam contestant. We have already seen one Sonic Slam winner this season. It's courtesy of Jonathan India. Meanwhile, Jack Caglione has already homered tonight. That is the difference in tonight's ball game. His solo shot in the second off Kyle Bradish, who's got something in his eye and now needs some extra attention.
Got to be able to see where you're throwing it to be able to throw it there. But to me, for Bradish to be out there here in the 6th inning after giving up 9 hits and a couple of walks, to me that really says a lot about what he's been able to do with regards to getting out of these jams.
90 total pitches for Bradish so far tonight. Let's check in with Bridget.
All right, Jake, well, I caught up with Kevin Younger, the Sonic Slam winner, thanks to Jonathan India's Grand Slam back on April 1st. He told me he received an email on March 30th that he would be the contestant on April 1st. That night, Kevin said he had his doubts, all right? India hadn't hit the ball yet. It was raining. It was windy, cold, you name it. He thought this ball isn't going anywhere. And when India hit that ball and it flew over the fences, he told me, I was screaming 25 grand, 25 grand all over the house. So tonight, he was awarded the check pregame for the $25,000. So naturally, he had to buy Jonathan India's jersey, and he is so proud to be wearing it. He told me, I pray for him. I love the dude. And his family was here tonight with him, and they were telling me when they saw his post about winning on Facebook, they thought it was an April Fool's joke, guys, because this happened on April 1st. And so naturally, he was like, no, guys, this is legit. So he plans to pay off his car and live comfortably with the money, and he told me, God is good. That is awesome. Congrats to Kevin Younger out of Pittsburgh, Kansas, Sonic Slam winner. You know, that would be a heck of an April Fool's joke.
What a story, right?
That's awesome stuff, Bridget. Thank you. There's ball 4 on Jack Caglione. Let's take a look at that Sonic Slam from India earlier this year.
Well, it was a no-doubter. There was nobody in the stands. If I remember, we had a long rain delay.
Yeah, that was that muddy game against the Twins.
I remember somebody told Jonathan after the game, and he won somebody $25,000. He goes, am I going to get a part of that?
Good bunt from Collins, but it hit the lip of the grass. That would have been a hit for sure.
Just unfortunate it did catch that lip. Just kicked it enough toward foul territory that Collins has to come back and try it again.
Well, the Orioles have gotten the bullpen working. There is Rico Garcia. You would be hard-pressed to find a reliever that has performed better this season than Rico Garcia. He has yet to allow a hit this year.
We don't want to see him.
Back pick to first. first, and Caglione just barely got the arm back. That was a little too close for comfort. Albernaz is thinking about it. And he wants to challenge. So the Orioles think that Cags was in fact out at first. Here's the crew chief, Adrian Johnson.
Baltimore is challenging the safe call at first base.
Basayo certainly showing off that arm, both on the throw at second to get Michael, and now this throw, this back pick to first.
Cags got a little far away from the bag there.
Looked like they missed his hand, but we'll see.
And did Alonso brush his hand at all on that initial swipe? And you can't really tell from there.
Oh, I think he did. I think Jack's finger caught his glove on the way back down to the base.
This feels like a volleyball challenge where you're looking for the fingers to move.
And I think you can see the fingers move enough that they'll probably overturn it right here.
Yep, that's a tool. It's a volleyball term, Monty.
I learned something today.
Well, that is Gator on Gator crime over there at first base. Alonso and Cags. They also both went to the same high school, Plant High School in Tampa. It's produced some pretty good players. Two of them. Kyle Tucker is out of that high school. Wade Boggs is out of that high school. So those two know each other.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Baltimore loses their challenge.
Now you can't help but feel, Monty, like the Royals might have just caught a break.
Caught a break because of the call on the field. Not enough to overturn it.
And sometimes that's the way it goes, where the call on the field does rule the day if there is not clear and convincing evidence. So Cags stays at first. It's 1-1 on Isaac Collins. He popped up the bunt that time. So one bunt rolls foul. He pulled the bat back, and there was nearly a pickoff at first. Could credit Damon Hollins a little bit for being in the way of the shot. That might have helped. Two and two.
Well, Collins going to be disappointed with himself unless he gets a hit here. Not able to move that runner with the sacrifice.
You also get the sense that this could be the end of his line. 97 pitches for Bradish. And if nothing else, Collins is making him throw a few more.
Right. Take a look at the pitches by inning. Really, that fifth inning was the only 1, 2, 3 inning of the night for Bradish.
It's a good eye from Collins. Making another full count, and Bradish has now thrown a season most 99 pitches. So now the payoff. And it's ripped back up the middle. A base hit for Collins. Tag stops at second. Now Collins might not have been able to get the bunt down, but he did that much more. First and second, nobody out.
Isaac Collins feeling much better about himself now. Has a breaking ball. He's seen so many breaking balls tonight. Finally gets one that he can really hit hard. Had to hit the other way, and this one he's going to be able to pull in a right field. Good situation here for the Royals.
Now, it is not entirely surprising that Bradish is staying on the mound here. I think everybody knows what Kyle Isbell might be about to do. Corner infielders in for the Orioles. They too are expecting Kyle Isbell to bunt. He does have 3 sacrifice hits already this season. Led the majors with 13 last year. One ball, no strikes. This is the first time that Kyle Bradish has cleared the 100-pitch plateau since September of 2023. It was the end of his best season. 2.83 ERA that year, and he was 4th in Cy Young voting. One and one.
Isbell, a tremendous bunter, and Isaac Collins, good bunter as well. Bradish must have something that makes that bunt more difficult, because both have had a difficulty getting it down so far.
He's thrown back-to-back sinkers. And Isbell pops it up again. Foul again. That time Bradish went with a slider. And so neither Collins nor Isbell can get a bunt down. I have talked to Kyle about this before, that in certain situations he is not uncomfortable bunting with 2 strikes.
He may do it right here.
This might be one of those spots where he tries to bunt with 2 strikes. And you got to think that that was just to see if Isbell was going to tip his hand.
Right.
It's not like they expect Jack Caglione to be going anywhere right now.
Well, the Orioles want to set up a play in the infield where if a bunt does go down, they have a chance at getting a runner at third base.
Full swing, full miss from Izzy. And he struck out 3 times tonight. And now that is the end of the line for Kyle Bradish. 104 pitches. And somehow he has slithered through danger tonight. The Royals have not been able to throw the knockout blow. 10 hits off of Bradish, a season high. Still 1 run for the Royals, but still a chance in the 6th.
How about Michael Garcia having a night? 3 hits on the evening, including an infield single. But hey, first time up, it's a nice line drive right there to left. Take advantage of that speed. Take him any way you can get him. Not how, it's how many, Jake.
Still, the Royals are looking for that big hit, which they have not had tonight. The only run on Jack Caglione's solo homer. The Royals have 10 hits, but they've left 8 on base. Now they face Rico Garcia. He has been as good as it gets. He has thrown 10 innings this year. He has not allowed a hit. That is a reliever no-hitter plus an inning.
He's been spectacular. He's inherited 5 runners and not allowed 1 to score. So the Royals have their work cut out for them here.
That's popped up. Alonso gives way to Jackson, who makes the catch. That is now 31 outs for Rico Garcia this year without allowing a hit.
I think Michael would like to have that one back. Jackson coming across to move Alonso out of the way to make that catch, but hey, it's up to Bobby right here.
And Kyle Bradish watches closely, maybe nervously. And the bullpen has been an Orioles' strength this year. They have allowed the fewest inherited runners to score of any team this year. Only 3 of their 24 inherited runners have scored this year. And what's more is that the first 21 they inherited were stranded. It wasn't until Friday in Cleveland that they allowed an inherited runner to score for the first time.
Garcia, nice fastball, mid-90s fastball, but he's also got a slider, changeup, and curveball, so he's very unpredictable with his repertoire.
The Royals had 2 on with nobody out in this inning. Now 2 on with 2 outs in this inning. Three and 1. Garcia does not want to seem to want to throw much to Bobby Witt Jr.
And that really has been the case all year with pitchers really being very careful with Bobby, understandably. But I think once Vinny and Salvi get it going, it'll be a little different story.
Now that is the key. Pasquantino's on deck. And he gets a chance with the bases loaded.
Take a look at the pitch sequence against Bobby Witt Jr. Kind of a common denominator here. You're going to notice away, away, away. It just seems like almost every pitch he throws, he's going to stay out of that strike zone, making Bobby hopefully reach, but fortunately for Bobby, takes that walk.
All right, Bobby Huska. Hold on to your hat. There's strike 1. This is the Royals' 5th plate appearance tonight with the bases loaded. Still looking for the big hit. Up 1-0.
Another really nice stop by DeSeo behind the plate. He's had probably 6 or 8 of those already tonight where he's potentially saved a run.
Yeah, he's been impressive defensively tonight. Out in front of the changeup, 1-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And Vinny will see another one. Vinny is 3 for 25 with runners in scoring position this year. It has certainly been the most glaring area of struggle. And it continues to be. The Royals leave the bases loaded for the 2nd time tonight, and despite 10 hits.
Bronco, get to your Midwest Ford dealer today.
When the Royals get 10 or more strikeouts, you save big. Get a free item the next day at Price Chopper. So far tonight, 6 strikeouts for Seth Lugo in 6 very, very sharp innings. He has allowed just 1 hit. He has allowed 3 total base runners. He has retired the last 14 that he's faced. And it is the guy at the plate, Taylor Ward, Monty, that has the lone Oriole hit, a 1st inning double. And he was ultimately stranded at 3rd base.
Yeah, Seth has made very few mistakes. That was one of them on the double.
Good looking sweeper, 1-2. Fifth start of the season for Seth. He already has 3 quality starts. Very much bidding for a 4th. He has allowed 2 runs or fewer in all 4 of his starts so far this season. And the 5th is certainly tracking that way. Now, last year ended on a sour note for Lugo. He finished the season on the injured list with that low back strain. The second half was nowhere close to what we'd seen from him his first season and a half as a Royal. The leadoff walk to Ward, first Oriole base runner since the second inning. And now a message from UMB Private Wealth.
Am I saving enough for retirement?
Should I get more nachos?
Do I have a clear financial plan?
Get financial clarity. Schedule an appointment today.
Now, because of the way last year ended for Lugo, I think it was easy to forget how good he was at the beginning of the season. 2.67 ERA in the first half. You could have made a really strong argument that Seth Lugo was an all-star snub last year with the way he pitched in the first half.
And there were a lot of teams that wanted him at the trade deadline last year too, so certainly he had performed well enough to be in very high demand.
Then, of course, signed an extension with the Royals. Lugo's now in his third year with the Royals after signing on as a free agent before the 2024 season. This is his 64th career start with the Royals, and close to 60% of those starts have been quality starts. Remarkable. Beavers pulled back on the curve and takes a strike. It's 0-2. Not bad, Monty, for a guy drafted with the 1,032nd overall pick.
That's amazing.
Back in 2011.
Wow.
And at some point this year over the summer, he'll reach 10 years of major league service. Long-time reliever with the Mets before he bet on himself to be a starter and had an excellent year with the Padres. This is his 128th career start, and again 64th with the Royals, so exactly half in a Royals uniform.
Well, I know when J.J. Piccolo was able to bring both Lugo and Waka in from the Padres, really created a lot of excitement for Royals fans, and fortunately they took them to the postseason.
And those two have both been brilliant this year. 2-2 now on Beavers. Now there is no margin for error right now. Royals only have 1 run despite 10 hits. The Royals have left 11 runners on base tonight. And Lugo has certainly been efficient so far tonight. 84 pitches now. No, he's already thrown 13 pitches in this inning.
Could really use a ground ball double play right here. Beavers runs well, but he's tough. It's got to be right. Probably at Michael Massey.
Now, Beavers is 0 for 2 tonight with 2 ground ball outs. Called strike 3. That was perfection. Backdoor curve over that low outside corner.
Masterful 2-2 breaking ball. Just slid right across the outside corner of that plate. Spin rate on his breaking ball, elite. One of the best in baseball.
And now a first pitch curve to Pete Alonso. And Lugo popped him up. Massey's got it. 2 outs. And that was a gift. The first pitch out.
That was huge. Alonso wasn't going to allow Seth Lugo to get him into one of those counts where he'd be unpredictable. He wanted to go out and get the first pitch, and sure enough gets a pop out.
And a nice shot from our Rally House rally cam. 1 more out to get in the 7th. It's been an impressive night for Samuel Basayo. He really fills up that batter's box. 6'4", he's listed at 250. If you told me he was 6'8", I might believe you.
Yeah, he's a big man. Even from here up in the booth, he looks extremely large.
Two and one. Basayo's got power. 3 home runs this season. Tied up on the cutter, 2 and 2.
A lot he can do right here. Seth Lugo's changed the eye level a couple different times, so he's got a lot of options, so to speak, here against Basayo.
He loves his curveball. That's his favorite pitch. The 2-2. Going with the sweeper. And so Taylor Ward gets a head start at first base with a full count and 2 outs. Payoff pitch. That's high for ball 4.
Yes, that's trying to go back to that cutter up. Try to get Basayo to chase like he did for strike 2. Did not work there.
Good time for a chat with pitching coach Brian Sweeney. Tune in on Wednesday, 6 o'clock Central on Whataburger's social channels for a junior film about Bobby Witt Jr., celebrating the journey of a kid from Colleyville, Texas, to the Kansas City Royals star we know today. It's hosted by Whataburger's CMO Scott Hudler, and the event will feature Bobby himself sharing stories about his career, family, and his love for Whataburger. He might talk a little bit about his Whataburger at his wedding. In the air to left center. Isbell takes off into the gap. He's there to make the catch. The inning is over. 7 surgical shutout innings from Seth Lugo. Kansas City Royals baseball is presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, and by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game. It has been Seth Lugo's game tonight. 7 shutout innings, only 1 hit allowed. Only 4, or rather 5 total base runners allowed. Brilliant. Simply brilliant.
He really was, and exactly what this Royals team needed. And maybe a pitcher to get them over the hump, get them back on track. It looks like Seth Lugo's night is finished.
See if the Royals can add to their lead. It will take a hit against Rico Garcia, something that nobody's been able to do yet this year. Garcia stays on after leaving the bases loaded in the 6th. That's just foul. 0-2. Matt Strom warms up in the Royals bullpen. It has been a while since we've seen Strom on the mound. Now, Garcia has been a little bit of everywhere over the course of his big league career. Last year he pitched for 3 different teams. Pitched for the Yankees, the Mets, and then finished the season with the Orioles. Shallow flare, right field, and it's caught. An excellent grab from Colton Cowser, and the league stays hitless against Rico Garcia.
Yeah, when I left the bat, I'm thinking maybe Salvador Perez is going to break his no-hitter through 11+ innings, but unfortunately not the case. Calvin comes in and makes a nice grab.
Craig Albernaz goes back to the bullpen. Grant Wolfram is coming in.
Are you?
Sights and sounds from the first 6.5 innings so far tonight. The Royals have a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 7th. Grant Wolfram is the Orioles' third pitcher tonight. Craig Albernaz turns to a lefty to face Carter Jensen. Then Michael Massey on deck. Jack Caglione would be after that. So this is a string of 3 consecutive lefties in the Royals lineup. Lefties are, for what it's worth, 5 for 17 against Wolfram so far this season.
Got a really good sweeper against lefties. You saw that first pitch to Carter Jensen. Also a sinker, curveball, four-seamer, and a slider to go along with it. But sweeper will be his main weapon against these lefties.
He has racked up the strikeouts early on this season. 15 Ks in 8 2/3 innings. It is one of the reasons, Wolfram's numbers, why this Orioles bullpen has the highest strikeout rate in baseball. So a tough task for any hitter. Certainly one off the bench. Nick Lofton is now in the on-deck circle. He's ready to pinch hit for Michael Massey. Up and in and got him. Ball 4 would have been just as well, but instead Carter takes his base with a bruise.
Gotta like the base runners. Catcher's used to that contact. He said, "I'm all right, Q. Let me stay out here." Like forearm, maybe.
Well, if you're going to wear the pad,
yeah,
might as well put it to work. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but I mean, how many times do you see someone get hit by a pitch or foul one off themselves and it doesn't hit the protective gear, right?
Lots of times.
Welcome back to the big leagues. Nick Lofton called up today from AAA Omaha when Jonathan India was placed on the injured list. This is Lofton's first big league game since April 5th against the Brewers. He did have a hit in that game. 2 for 9 in the big leagues this season. And make it 3 for 10. A pinch hit single for Lofton.
It's like Nick may have gotten a sinker that didn't really sink. It's up in the strike zone, right on the very top. Very, very nice work for Nick Lofton in his debut and his second time around here as a Royal this season.
2 on for Jack Caglione. 2 more base runners. The Royals now have 11 hits tonight, but still just 1 run. The Royals have stranded 11 on base. Tonight, 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Top of the right side. Jackson gloves, double clutches, only play to first, and he makes it. That had the chance to be an inning-ending double play. Would have been a tough one to turn.
Yeah, probably wasn't hit hard enough, and Cagneto realizes that, hey, I got to really bust it down here, regardless if it's from the second base or from second base man. And fortunately, still have two guys in scoring position.
Well, you know what? Getting another look at that, Monty. Jeremiah Jackson was lucky that when that ball popped out of his hand, trying to shovel it to second, that it wound up back in his glove.
Almost like a double tapper.
There is Yennier Cano warming up. He is a tough at-bat Cano and a ground ball artist. Here's Collins. 2 for 3 tonight. Now batting right-handed for the first time tonight. Ball 1. One ball, one strike. This is Collins' natural side of the plate. He learned how to hit lefty when he was a teenager. Said he started around 11. Became a fully formed switch hitter around 13. Field to first. He held. 3-1.
Close call. Could have gone either way.
Three and 2.
Just another 3-2 count here. See if the Royals can make something happen.
Man, they can go no further. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And the Royals have now stranded 13 runners tonight. That is 2 more stranded in scoring position. We go to the 8th. Still 1-0. The Royals team store has brand new City Connect uniforms. Grab jerseys from your favorite Royals players and rep your Royals in a fresh new way. With vibrant colors, unique style, and a wide variety of options, head to the Royals team store to find your perfect fit. Learn more at royals.com/cityconnect. Looking to see those back out on the field on Friday night here at Kauffman Stadium. It'll be game 1 of a series against the Angels. Good to see Matt Strom on the mound. It has been a minute, almost a week, since Strom last pitched. Now his 8th appearance this season. The Orioles counter with a pinch hitter. This is Weston Wilson, who's batting in Colton Cowser's place. So an alliterative swap for Craig Albornoz. Meanwhile, Nick Lofton, who had a pinch hit single, remains in the game. He's now at second base. Good fastball, 1-2.
Jake, one thing we really need to see out of this bullpen is some stabilization. Guys establishing what they're going to be doing, what roles are going to be, and more than anything, just being effective more consistently out there.
Well, you've said it a lot that bullpen roles have a way of working themselves out over the course of a season, but especially the first month of the year. And it seems, at least early on this season, outside of Strom and Urseg, where those bullpen puzzle pieces fit has been a question mark.
Well, it has, and it really is, magnified when you lose your closer, the guy who led the league in saves last year, Carlos Estevez, in his first outing of the season. So really what you're doing, you're forcing everyone to move up one notch with regards to kind of that leverage totem pole, so to speak. And some guys respond better than others. And when there's uncertainty, I think it creates some difficulty for guys, especially guys who maybe haven't established themselves in those leverage situations.
Wilson stays alive. He fouls off a third in a row.
Matt Strom's got a lot of experience in leverage situations. This is nothing as far as change for him.
Well, the last time Strom pitched was the series opener in Detroit, the first game of the road trip. He threw 24 pitches in a scoreless inning on Tuesday. And he gets Wilson one away. A good start for Strom.
Yeah, look, it might have been a sweeper going really kind of on that back leg. Nice to see a first pitch or first batter out with Weston Wilson there.
So after pitching on Tuesday, Strom did not pitch on Wednesday. He'd thrown 24 pitches the day prior. And then he was getting ready to pitch on Thursday. Well, Strom was warming up in the bullpen on Thursday and was going to pitch the 7th inning. And then the Royals scored a ton of runs. Salvi had a big home run. And then the tarp came out on the field, and there was a 46-minute rain delay. And Strom had already gotten hot, and by that time it had gotten cold. And so he was effectively burned for that game on Thursday. But in trying to still be available for that game, ultimately became unavailable for Friday's game in the Bronx, when he might have pitched late in that game. It was tied heading to the bottom of the 8th. Here's a challenge for Jensen.
The catcher is challenging.
So our third challenge of the game.
Calls overturned, pitches are strike. Kansas City has 2 challenges remaining.
And Carter Jensen is 2 for 2. That is ABS powered by T-Mobile. So Strom doesn't wind up pitching on Friday in the Bronx, and the Royals go on to lose 4-2. It was another late inning loss, and then the games over the weekend were blowout losses, so no leverage situation for Strom to pitch, and that is why he has not pitched since Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just amazing how so many factors come into play on guys getting hot, potential rain delays. Usually after about 45 minutes, they're not going to let a guy go back out there. So you're right, just very intricate and complicated how they make those decisions.
Now the layoff has not been an issue. 2 up, 2 down, 2 Ks, and Matt Strom is all kinds of fired up right now.
Really like his aggressiveness. I mean, he's really a guy that's going to challenge hitters in the strike zone. He trusts his stuff, and that's really half the battle, in my opinion. Having a pitcher out there that believes in his stuff, that he can fill up the strike zone and get outs.
And that is what the Royals need. Ball 1 on Blaze Alexander. You do not need an overt reminder about the horrors of the bottom of 8th innings past. The Royals saw the go-ahead runs cross in the 8th inning on Friday in New York. They saw it happen on Wednesday in Detroit. They saw it happen on Tuesday in Detroit. And Matt Strom is making sure that tonight's 8th inning, atop of the 8th inning, has a different story. Two and 2 on Blaze Alexander.
Yeah, and the Royals have had, unfortunately, some bad luck with 2 outs in the 8th inning, where they're an out away from getting through. Hopefully this is a situation where Matt Strom can finish this inning off, get him in the dugout.
Fouled away. Well, the truth is, Monty, anything that has possibly had the chance to go wrong has gone wrong. Whether it's 2 outs, whether it's 1 out, close game, late inning, early inning, middle inning, it's been rough. Three and 2.
Good job by Alexander. That was a very close pitch, almost too close to take there. Ends up getting the call.
Alexander was waiting for that pitch, and he triggered just a little bit early. Eighth pitch to Alexander coming. Struck him out.
Huge pitches here by Matt Strom. 3 strikeouts. Get these Royals through the 8th inning.
Be one of the first 20,000 fans to the K on May 8th and receive a Bobby and Vinny rock, paper, scissors bobblehead presented by Community America. Get tickets at Royals.com/promotions. And you see they're in the Forever Fountain City Connect jerseys in that bobblehead, Monty. What do you got, rock, paper, or scissors?
Pretty good paper.
Well, you can't give it away. Yennier Cano is into the game for the Orioles. And there is strike 1 on Kyle Isbell. Cano has been very good this year. Now his 11th appearance. Each of his last 7 outings have been scoreless. That's up the line and foul. 0-2.
And those ground balls, that's what he is known for. Throws 43% of his pitches are sinkers, and it is a very, very good sinker. A lot of times guys would call that the lead pipe sinker. Just kind of falls right through the water.
What is that, clue? Yennier Cano in the conservatory with the lead pipe sinker.
There we go.
Oh, 2. Ball on 2 strikes now on Isbell. Here's a grounder, and it's right to Alonso. 1 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. 1-0 lead. You would love a little bit more breathing room, wouldn't you? So far, so shutout for Royals pitchers. 7 shutout innings for Seth Lugo. Matt Strom just struck out the side. Lucas Erceg is warming up in the bullpen.
Royals pitchers working a combined 1-hitter tonight, so outstanding action.
The Orioles' only hit tonight came in the 1st inning. They have drawn 3 walks since that 1st hit. And really the only spot of trouble for Lugo was with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th. Been a good night for Garcia. 3 for 4 tonight. And he stays alive.
I mentioned Cano with that excellent sinker, but he's also got a splitter that's very, very good. Only .222 batting average against. Get a splitter, got a slider. So far, nobody's got a hit against that this year, and a four-seam fastball. So nice variety to go along with that sinking fastball.
Another grounder. This time to Gunnar Henderson at short, and now there are 2 outs. So last year, Yennier Cano had a 55% ground ball rate. Early on this year, he has a 71% ground ball rate.
Well, you can see why. Just seeing the downward action, really all of his pitch he throws, they have that downward action.
And that arm slot certainly helps too.
Yep.
There's Lucas. Ready to turn out the lights. Bobby's 1 for 3 tonight. A sharp single in the 4th. He also walked in the 6th. The Royals have 11 hits tonight. 10 of them came against the Orioles starter Kyle Bradish. But the only run came on Jack Caglianone's solo homer in the 2nd inning.
I think that slider might be the only pitch Bobby's going to get that he's going to have a chance to really put good wood on. I'd like to have that one back.
He has now seen 3 consecutive sliders. And now the splitter. 2-2. The Orioles have the top of their lineup due up in the 9th inning. Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, Dylan Beavers. And if anyone gets on, then Pete Alonso would loom large. He's due up 4th in the top of the 9th inning. 2-2. Bounce to 3rd. Alexander charges. Throws on the run. And it is in time to get Bobby Witt Jr. by the width of a spike on a cleat. And the inning is over. Royals 1, Orioles nothing. It is time for Lights Out Lucas.
Back at the ballpark, Joel Goldberg, Rex Hudler. Offense still struggling, but Seth Lugo, how about it, Hud?
63% strikes. Are you kidding? Strike 1, attack.
What he said. We got more coming up on Royals postgame, guys.
Joel Hud, thanks very much. Yeah, that is exactly what the Royals need Lucas Erceg to do. Attack with a 1-0 lead in the top of the 9th. And there is strike 1, the oh so important strike 1.
Yeah, especially for Lucas Erceg, getting ahead of hitters, very important, allowing him to put them away.
Erceg has 5 saves in 6 tries so far this season. Last time he pitched was Thursday in Detroit. That was his first blown save of the year when the Tigers scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th. He gets the top of the Oriole lineup in the top of the 9th tonight. 1-2 on Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, and Erceg with that 4-pitch mix, likes his 4-seam fastball, really upper 90s fastball with that. He's also got the sinking fastball, upper 90s. Nice slider and a changeup. The changeup's a pitch to me that's been off for him this year. Really hasn't had the success that we've seen him have historically with that changeup.
And there was that changeup, and that was not the most competitive changeup.
Yeah, and I think previously what we've seen from Lucas, his ability to challenge hitters with that changeup, and now maybe a little bit gun shy with it till he gets back into where he's feeling comfortable to location.
Just missed. 99-mile-an-hour heat. That was awfully close. Full count on Gunnar Henderson. Now, these are the situations that Royals relievers have found themselves in. Deep counts where hitters know that there's a strike coming.
And this is a situation in previous years, maybe I would have said probably a changeup from Lucas Urseg.
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
Gunnar Henderson flipped the bat. Carter Jensen's challenging. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. ABS powered by T-Mobile says it's a ball.
Calls confirmed, pitches the ball. Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
It was a good challenge, though.
Yeah, good time to use it. It was very close.
Well, the potential tying run is at first base with nobody out. And Taylor Ward, who has the only Oriole hit tonight, is at the plate. Got him! Oh, they got him! Gunnar Henderson's picked off.
Second time tonight.
Seth Lugo picked him off in the first inning. Lucas Urseg picks him off in the 9th. And the Orioles want to take another look.
Baltimore is challenging the out call at first base.
Now, the Orioles already used a challenge tonight, and they lost that challenge. So this is not an official Orioles challenge. This is technically a crew chief review by request. And Adrian Johnson has granted that request, which he did not need to do.
Was such a critical point of the game. Just hard to tell from his shots on whether he got that arm before he got the base or not. This is where the play or the call in the field potentially could favor the Royals once again.
Well, the Orioles had challenged whether or not Jack Caglione was picked off in the 6th inning, and that call stood. This is the one thing about challenges that has always been interesting, that each team gets one. And if you lose the challenge, you're out of challenges. But late in the game, 8th inning or later, you can request a challenge. And it is very, very rare that that request is not granted, which effectively means what's the penalty for losing the challenge earlier in the game?
I agree.
Regardless of the outcome of the call here, it's admittedly something that I don't particularly understand about the variables.
The call on the field stands. The runner is out.
And ultimately, it doesn't matter. Henderson's out, picked off for a 2nd time tonight. Challenge all you like.
How huge is that?
Enormous. Look at that footwork.
Got to be a huge confidence booster for Lucas Urseg out there, getting that out, knowing it's at the top of the batting lineup.
But now behind Taylor Ward, 2-0. Ward has been on base twice tonight. Not many Orioles can say that. Only he and Samuel Basayo have been on base twice. Ward with a double in the 1st and a walk in the 7th. 2-1.
Batter challenging the call strike.
And now Ward wants to challenge the pitch. It was called a strike. And it was a strike.
Calls confirmed, pitches a strike. Baltimore has no challenges remaining.
Last challenge for the Orioles. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Two and 2. Urseg's back in the count. He has certainly walked a tightrope in this inning so far, hasn't he, Monty?
He really has. 1-0 game. You have to be extremely careful.
How do you stay composed in these situations?
You know, it's just everyone's different. You know, I think sometimes it brings out the best in guys, sometimes it doesn't.
Is there anything about these spots for you, the 1-0 games, that elevated you?
I think so. I think the focus, the ability to lock in, the concentration, that's what it's all about.
Another one sprayed foul. Still 3-2 on Taylor Ward. Urseg has not gotten a lot of strikeouts so far this season. He's got 5 Ks. He's issued now 4 walks in a little over 7 innings. And there is another walk. So Urseg has walked both batters that he's faced in this inning. He picked off Gunnar Henderson, but the Orioles have the potential tying run at first once again.
Yeah, this really has been an issue with the Royals bullpen, is inability to throw consistent strikes, getting ahead of hitters and then putting them away. They've got ahead a lot of times, but then inability to put them away. But you're a ground ball away from ending this baseball game.
Dylan Beavers is 0 for 3. And he takes ball 1. So now that's 2 of the last 3 hitters that have seen ball 1. The Royals as a bullpen collectively have the lowest first pitch strike percentage of any bullpen in baseball. And that has led to issues. But there's a grounder. Lofton's got it. 1 out there. Relay to first, not in time. Beavers was too quick, and that keeps the game alive. So it's Urseg against Alonso.
This ball was hit a little harder. I think maybe had a chance to turn that double play, but just where it was on the infield was a long throw for Nick Lofton over to Bobby Witt Jr. And now we're going power on power, right?
Mm-hmm. In the air, toward the right field corner. Caglione does not have room. He caught it off the side netting. That was a good try, Cags.
Trying to get his buddy out on a screen ball.
I mean, it's an impressive catch off the netting anyway. Cags has been the difference tonight. His solo homer in the second inning gave the Royals a 1-0 lead. 0-1 on Pete Alonso, who's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. One and 2.
Amazing. Everyone in the stands on their feet looking for that final strike here against Alonso.
Hearts in throats with the way the last week has gone. The Royals have lost 7 straight. It was a winless road trip. Now back at home and starting a series against the Orioles. 1 strike away. Did he go? He did not. Wow, that was close. 2-2. And still 1 strike away. The Royals were 1 strike away on Thursday in Detroit, too.
Can't give in against Alonso here. You've got to throw a quality pitch.
Urseg is ready. Check swing. He held again. Man.
Almost a carbon copy of the last one.
That does not get much closer than that. And so the count is full. Dylan Beavers' potential tying run at first gets a head start with a full count and 2 outs.
He's thrown 2 sliders away. See if he tries to get the fastball by him here.
The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. 3rd walk of the inning. And now the potential tying run is at second, and the potential go-ahead run is at first. Urseg has thrown 23 pitches and more balls than strikes.
Got to get ahead. Got to get ahead. You have to be able to put away, and that's the one thing that we just haven't seen on a consistent basis from a lot of the guys down there.
What do you do to give yourself the confidence to go right after guys and attack like Hud was asking.
You have to trust yourself. You have a built-in advantage as a pitcher with the best hitters in the world making outs 7 out of 10 times. That was my approach.
Samuel Basallo at the plate. And there is strike one. Basallo's challenging, but the Orioles are out of challenges. They've already used both of them. And while Basallo might have been right, he does not have any recourse.
Those catchers know that zone, don't they?
0-2. And you get the feeling like that not pitch being able to challenge was still in Basallo's head.
It was.
One strike away again.
Good opportunity for Lucas Urseg to expand.
Jensen's challenging. Could the game end on ABS? Powered by T-Mobile. Here's the virtual pitch. It's a ball.
False confirmed, pitching the ball. Kansas City has no challenges remaining.
Wouldn't that have been something? 1-2 on Basallo. Line to left center. It's a base hit. Here comes Beavers. He scores to tie the game. And it is late inning agony again. We're tied at 1 in the top of the 9th.
And this is just another mistake. This is a four-seam fastball, middle of that strike zone. You got a 1-2 count. You have to expand right here. You have to throw a strike to ball pitch to get him to chase.
Game-tying RBI single for Samuel Basallo. And now it's up to Urseg to keep it tied. Pete Alonso went first to third. He's the potential go-ahead run. One strike away on 3 different occasions in this 9th inning. And yet, stunningly, Monty, it has happened again.
It's amazing. It's almost like a virus. When you have it, it just has to run its course. Eventually, you get through it.
These one-run games have not been kind to the Royals this season. They are 0-5 in one-run games. Still a chance to win in one-run fashion, but it will take the bottom of the 9th. Alonso is trying to distract Urseg and get him to balk. He was chopping his feet down the line before that last pitch. 1-2 to Jackson. Chopped to short. And that ends the inning. Well, the game is tied at 1. 3 walks and a game-tying hit from Samuel Basallo. Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Carter Jensen, due up in the bottom of the 9th. Yeah, that is the correct numbers in the box score. Both teams have 1 run, despite the fact that the Royals have out-hit the Orioles 11-2. The Orioles have 2 hits tonight, 1 in the first inning and a game-tying hit in the top of the 9th. And now in a game tied at 1, the Royals face Ryan Helsley. He makes his 10th appearance of the season out of the Oriole bullpen. Benny, Salvi, Carter. Chopped to first, and Alonso spears it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Helsley accustomed to pitching in 9th innings, but normally pitching with the lead. He's their closer, so Orioles pulling out all stops here to try to stay in this baseball game.
Now they can sense a shift in the momentum in this game.
Yep.
Even though the Royals have had a 1-0 lead all throughout, it has felt like the Orioles have been right there, if not having more momentum with all the runners the Royals have stranded. Now the Royals stranded 2 in the first inning, 2 in the second inning, left the bases loaded in the third, stranded 1 in the fourth, left the bases loaded again in the sixth, and stranded 2 in the seventh. 13 left on base for the Royals tonight. And so the opportunities have been there, but the Orioles have made the big pitches when they've needed to, and the Royals have not gotten the big hit.
Yeah, lots and lots of opportunities. You mentioned the 13 left on base. That's what stands out more than anything to me.
Foul ground, first base side. And out of play. This is not a save situation for Ryan Helsley, though he does have 6 saves this year. He does have 1 loss. That came in Pittsburgh in the beginning of the month. He entered a game that was tied at 2 and ultimately gave up the lead. 2-2 on Salvi. Helsley that day in Pittsburgh gave up 2 hits, and there was also an intentional walk in the inning, and ultimately he was charged with a game-ending run. Full count on Salvi.
Well, Helsley features that fastball more than 50% of the time. Maybe Salvi will get one he can hunt it.
Salvi's 2 for 4 tonight. He was hunting, but he comes up empty. 2 outs.
Good slider from Helsley there, and likely a fastball count, knowing Salvador Perez has that tendency to chase. Sure enough, got him to chase that slider under the strike zone.
Well, the way he went to a knee there on the swing, it looked like Thursday in Detroit when he hit the go-ahead 3-run homer. So this time, no contact. Ball 1 on Carter Jensen. Should we need extras, Daniel Lynch IV is ready for the top of the 10th inning. He went around 2-2. And oh, to think what might have been had Pete Alonso been run up on a check swing in the top of the 9th. They are subjective calls. There is no rule book definition of a check swing. Inning over. We're headed for extras at Kauffman Stadium. Royals and Orioles tied at 1. For the first time this season, the Kansas City Royals go to extra innings, tied at 1 with the Orioles, and Daniel Lynch IV enters for the 10th, his 8th appearance of the season. Lynch has been really good so far this year. 7 2/3 innings, 10 Ks, 3 walks.
Yeah, and I think he threw out the one game he had in that really rainy, wet game where he had trouble throwing strikes because of the mound condition. He's been outstanding in every other appearance.
Here is Jeremiah Jackson. He's the placed runner at second base. Weston Wilson, who struck out as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, bats for his 2nd time tonight. Couple reminders. In extra innings, if teams are out of ABS challenges, each receives one ABS challenge. So you'll see those rectangles illuminate on the score bug down there. And each team also has one manager's challenge if they had lost their challenge previously, which the Orioles had. 0-2 on Wilson. And Lynch gets him with a changeup. Now Lynch quietly, Monty, has been the Royals' most consistent reliever so far this season.
Well, I like the way he comes in and challenges hitters. I mean, he has the ability to get ahead, stay ahead, put guys away, and that's, as a relief pitcher, I mean, that's all you can ask for.
This is his 8th appearance of the season. Of his previous 7 appearances, 6 of them scoreless. Stay with me here. The only outing that wasn't scoreless was with the muddy mound against the Twins in early April. And so I think you can kind of throw that outing out the window, especially with what the conditions were that night.
Well, exactly. I talked to him the next day, and I'm like, hey, that one doesn't count. Throw that one away. Get back on track, and he sure has.
That's served to center, and Isbell's got it lined up. 2 outs. Jackson stays put. Let's put it this way. Of Lynch's 3 walks this season, all 3 were that night against the Twins.
Right. I mean, I think the Royals walked 9 batters that evening, and that's just uncharacteristic of a Major League Baseball team. So the mound conditions, we probably should not have even been playing at that stage.
2 up, 2 down for Lynch in the 10th. Roll to third, and Garcia's got it. Inning over. Daniel Lynch, the 4th, preserves the tie. And so we go to the bottom of the 10th, tied at 1.
Daniel Lynch, unbelievable what he was able to do, stranding the place runner, top of the 10th inning, gets the big strikeout, easy fly ball for the 2nd out, and a ground ball to end this inning. If the Royals were able to pull this off, have their first walk-off win of the season, I can promise you there'll be a lot of credit given to Daniel Lynch.
As there should be. 7 pitches is all he needed in that top of the 10th inning. And so the Royals do have a chance again to walk it off against Anthony Nunez, who enters for the Orioles. You see behind him Lane Thomas. He's come in as a pinch runner to be the place runner at second. He replaces Carter Jensen, the Royals catcher. And the Royals are more comfortable doing that because they have Elias Diaz on the roster as a 3rd catcher. So Mac Quatrero said in situations like this, he's more open to pinch running, pinch hitting, doing what he needs to do with his catchers. Pitch timer violation. 1 ball, no strikes on Nick Lofton. And so now it's 1-1. Lofton singled his first time up, his first at bat in the big leagues in a couple of weeks. Called back up today. He pulls back, 2-1.
Jake, it's been amazing to see since the rule with the place runner on second, how the strategies have changed really since it started. It used to be there was going to be almost an automatic bunt for the home team if they only need 1 run. Now sometimes they take a chance on moving that runner over, try to get him in.
Corners are in for the Orioles. Lofton did not square there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to hit the ball on the right side, maybe get the ball through the infield to have a walk-off hit, or move the runner to third, less than 2 outs.
Lofton does have a walk-off in his career. He's got a couple, actually. He had 2 on the same homestand last year against the Pirates and the Mets. That was right before the All-Star break. Three balls and a strike on Lofton. And there's ball 4. That's a good job by Samuel Basayo to keep that in front. He's done a lot of that tonight. That saved 90 feet. And the walk is not the worst outcome. It puts a force at any base except home. This is the manager, Craig Albernaz. So he's talking to his pitcher, his infield. What are they going to do in this spot?
Well, I think he's telling him number 14 is not going to be bunting the baseball here.
Think Kaggs has ever even dropped down a sacrifice bunt in his life? If you said no, it wouldn't be shocking.
I would say probably not, but he's responsible for the only Royals run tonight. Maybe he could be responsible for number 2.
Solo homer back in the second. The Royals have squandered opportunities since. 13 left on base. That's into center. Taveras has it lined up. He makes the catch, and Thomas has to stay put. And now it gets away. Thomas takes off for third. The tag's down, and he's out at third base. Thomas got aggressive when he saw the ball roll away. And maybe too aggressive in that spot. And so the Royals go from having runners on first and second and 1 out to a runner on second and 2 outs. It didn't get all that far away. And Henderson was there to cover. That is a huge out on the bases. So Lofton's at second with 2 outs. Sharply hit, and Jackson gobbles it up, and the inning is over. Another opportunity squandered. The Royals have left 14 on base. We go.
Is on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorrento.
So we beat on boats against the current. Now to the 11th inning, tied at 1. Elias Diaz enters the game. He is the new Royals catcher. Lane Thomas, who was thrown out trying to advance to third base in the last inning, stays in the game. He's in right field. So Diaz is in Jack Caglianone's spot in the lineup. And Daniel Lynch, the 4th, who blitzed through the top of the 10th on 7 pitches, is back on the mound for the top of the 11th. Blaze Alexander, appropriately named for a spot like this, is the Orioles' placed runner at second base. Top of the lineup for the Orioles: Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, Dylan Beavers. They never said it was going to be easy. They didn't say it was going to be this hard.
Well, really, both teams have been struggling to score runs, so no surprise we're in a 1-1 game. The surprise to me is all the opportunities the Royals have missed on.
To recap, the Royals have 11 hits. They have left 14 on base. And they have done that by going 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position tonight. It's not as if the Orioles have been all that much better. 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight, but they made the most of the opportunity they had in the top of the 9th inning. Samuel Basayo tied it on a 2-out opposite field RBI single. Lynch keeps on rolling.
Daniel Lynch, purpose pitch here, expands that strike zone, has that slider finish off the plate. Not a lot that Henderson could do.
Lynch gets 4 outs. He was outstanding in high leverage. John Schreiber is coming in to face Taylor Ward. Four up, four down for DL4, and that is a well-deserved handshake. Monty, he was outstanding tonight.
Well, he really was. I mean, especially in a situation where this team is, you need somebody to come in and essentially be a fireman with that placed runner on second base and nobody out. And he did exactly that.
I think it's safe to say that we're going to see Lynch in some high leverage spots moving forward. And now John Schreiber enters the fray. His team leading 10th appearance of the season. In to face righty Taylor Ward. And there is a first pitch strike from Shribes. He pitched yesterday a 1-2-3 inning and only needed 5 pitches. And it was about as sharp as he's looked this season, which has been rocky for him.
Yeah, really for Schreiber, his 2 primary pitches, 14 fastball sweeper, those are the pitches he's really given up the most damage on this year.
Two and one on Ward. Lefty Dylan Beavers on deck. Then Pete Alonso is in the hole. See Schreiber's numbers against Ward. Schreiber has had the upper hand. The 2-1. Chopped to short. Witt looks back the runner and makes the play. 2 outs. So far, so good for Shribes. This is not an unusual spot for him, inheriting a runner. He did inherit 55 runners last season. And he was excellent in stranding them. He stranded 75% of the runners he inherited last year. And maybe this is a little different because it's not as if Lynch put the runner on second base. It's the extra inning rules that did. Strike one. And so Schreiber has thrown 2 first pitch strikes tonight.
Yeah, gotta like it when he gets ahead. He can expand at that stage. Schreiber's got that good sinker. Also a changeup he'll use against lefties.
0-2. So this is where you want to see Schreiber expand the zone.
This is what I want to see. A couple of pitches at least that are very pitcher-friendly pitches. I want to see pitches that maybe start as a strike, end as a ball. If you make contact, it's weak contact at that stage.
Change the eye level with a fastball. Maybe he goes back to the changeup. He is throwing a newer changeup this year. It's a kick change. Couldn't quite curl the backdoor sweeper. 2-2. And now the count's full.
See, there he goes from an 0-2 count to a full count, and none of those 3 pitches that were balls were competitive pitches.
And none of them started as strikes.
Correct.
And finished as balls like you were hoping they would. And Pete Alonso looms large. Can only keep him quiet for so long. That's down the right field line, a base hit. Thomas picks it up, but Alexander's in to score. And the Orioles lead for the first time tonight. The Royals trail 2-1 in the top of the 11th.
Schreiber in a situation on that last pitch where full count, you have to throw a strike. You got Alonso on deck. He's got the sweeper. Didn't really have a lot of action on it. Just kind of spun there, inside part. Elevated enough for the lefty to get the base hit.
And that's exactly why first pitch strikes are so important, or those advantage counts are so important, especially for relievers. You back yourself into a corner and put yourself in a position where you have to throw it in the zone, or at least you feel like you have to. And well, guess what? The hitter knows that too.
Exactly.
Lofton fields up the middle and makes the play to end the inning. Well, the Orioles bring in their placed runner, and now it's the Royals playing from behind. To the bottom of the 11th, Royals down 1. So now backs up against the wall, trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 11th inning. After Dylan Beavers gave the Orioles the lead, Isaac Collins is the placed runner. Kyle Isbell leads off with Maikel Garcia and Bobby Witt Jr. to follow. And righty Anthony Nunez stays on the mound for the Orioles.
Well, we've talked about the different strategies on what to do in these situations. Royals need at least one run, have to find a way to get one run. Wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Isbell doesn't make sure he gets him over to third base.
Isbell did try to execute a sacrifice bunt in the 6th inning and could not get the bunt down. He wound up striking out swinging, and that was one of the 2 innings tonight in which the Royals ultimately stranded the bases loaded. 1 run on 11 hits for the Royals tonight, and they've stranded 14 on base. And now it's 0-2. And Isbell, who is as close to automatic as a bunter as we've seen, has now come up short in bunting situations twice tonight. He gets the bunt down with 2 strikes, and it is perfect. If anybody's going to be comfortable bunting with 2 strikes, it's Kyle Isbell, and that's why.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. I mean, in this situation, you have to get the runner to third base. You can't take a chance on not. I like this situation where you allow him to bunt even with 2 strikes. Textbook.
Potential tying run at third, and the Orioles bring the infield in. Ball 1 on Garcia. Garcia has 3 hits in this game, all of them singles. Each of his first 3 at-bats tonight. And it seems as though Anthony Nunez is content to just put him on. Although Bobby Witt Jr. is on deck. Three and 1.
I think Maikel's got to make sure he gets a strike to hit. Take that walk if you can get it. Set it up for Bobby Witt Jr.
Three and 2. So Nunez is back in the count. Now, he did give up a run the last time that he pitched. That was on Friday in Cleveland. It was actually Nunez who allowed the first inherited runners to score for the Orioles this year. And he comes all the way back to get Garcia.
This is that strike the ball or ball to that was just a pitch he chased. Looked like a strike, finished a ball. Big pitch there from Nunez.
The Royals are down to their final out. A game that was oh so close. Multiple times the Royals were a strike away. Twice the Royals were a check swing away in the top of the 9th inning. But not only have they squandered opportunity after opportunity, but they have left the door open for the Orioles. 1-1 on Bobby Witt Jr. 1-2.
Mooney has established a pattern here. Away, away, away. Slider, slider, slider away. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try that again. Like see Bobby look away and hit it to right center.
Lifted to left, and it's down in front of Ward. The game is tied again. This time it's the Royals down to their final strike that get off the mat.
Very patient for Bobby Witt. See the changeup, see the grip. Just hit it off the end of the bat. Luckily, he hit it off the end of the bat. Otherwise, it would have been likely a fly ball, maybe ended the ball game. But that ball didn't travel far enough for the outfielder to come in and make that play. Good fortune for the Royals. Great job from Bobby Witt.
That was close at first. The Orioles are well aware of Bobby Witt Jr.'s speed and his 8 stolen bases this season. Vinny is 0 for 3 with 2 walks tonight. When he's put the ball in play, he's hit a comebacker and he's hit a grounder to first. One and one. One and two. Now make no mistake, Anthony Nunez has been one of the best relievers in baseball this year, even though both now the Guardians and Royals have gotten to him. Comes to exit velocity, whiff rate, walk rate, strikeout rate, he's been among the best. 2 and 2. Well, that's worked. In the air to left. Fairly deep, but not deep enough. The inning is over, but the Royals tie the game. Bobby Witt Jr. comes through. And while the Royals do strand another runner, more importantly, they brought one in. We go to the 12th.
Take a look at these RBI swings in the 11th inning. Dylan Beavers for the Baltimore Orioles does a nice job on a 2-strike pitch, and Bobby Witt Jr. gets that changeup, goes down and gets it, serves it into left field to tie up this baseball game.
Well, after these two teams were tied at 1 through 10 innings, they each brought in their placed runner in the 11th, and now Alex Lang takes the mound for the 12th. Pete Alonso is the placed runner at second base. And our part in that is Kobe Mayo out there at second base. He's pinch running for Alonso. And the batter is Samuel Basayo. It was Basayo who tied this game in the 9th inning with an opposite field 2-strike, 2-out RBI single. Lucas Erceg and the Royals were that close in the 9th inning.
Yeah, just a mistake pitch. Gets the 3 balls on him. Has to throw a strike.
That was the situation for Erceg in the 9th. It was a similar situation for John Schreiber in the 11th. 2-1 on Basayo. Another single the opposite way. Mayo's around third, and the Orioles have scored in the 12th. The Royals trail 3-2. What an impressive night from 21-year-old Samuel Basayo.
Yeah, he saved some runs with his glove behind the plate and blocking. Now he takes a curveball that didn't look like a bad pitch off the strike zone, actually, from Alex Lang, but just enough to get it into left field and drive in that run.
Can understand why the Orioles are so excited about Basayo and have been for quite some time. There's a hit for Jeremiah Jackson. Moves Basayo to second. Basayo tonight not only has done an excellent job behind the plate in blocking balls in the dirt, he's also caught a runner stealing. He threw out Michael Garcia in the 4th inning. And as a hitter, he's 2 for 3 with 2 late inning opposite field RBI singles and 2 walks. Weston Wilson prepares to bunt, and he missed. Strike 1. What's more, Wani, the only time that Basayo was retired tonight was when Kyle Isbell made that catch on the warning track when he slipped. And that was probably the best ball that Basayo's hit tonight.
Yeah, he hit it 400 feet, but it was an out.
Wilson pulled back. Not sure that Weston Wilson expected he'd have 3 at-bats tonight when he pinch hit in the 8th inning. He struck out in the 8th. He also struck out to lead off the 10th. And he bunts foul 1-2.
Well, tonight between Colton Cowser and Weston Wilson in a slot in the batting order, there have been 4 strikeouts, so maybe Alex Lang can get another one right here.
So do they share a golden sombrero? How does that work?
That's a good question.
Do they each get half of the hat? All swinging too.
Yeah.
It's a good block from Elias Diaz. He entered defensively for the 11th inning. Made his Royals debut yesterday at Yankee Stadium. And what a 48 hours it's been for Diaz. He landed in New York at midnight Saturday into Sunday, caught the day game, and now here he is at the K in extras. And all that after going to New York from Omaha.
Very happy to do it.
No doubt.
Enjoy those trips.
No doubt. That's the direction you want to be going in.
Right. Seems like you get that direction a lot quicker than the other one.
Big league veteran Elias Diaz, 35-year-old from Venezuela. This is his 12th big league season. Full count on Wilson. And there is ball 4. So the first 3 have reached against Alex Lang. His first outing since Friday in the Bronx, when he gave up the go-ahead home run to Ryan McMahon on a batted ball that frankly still is surprising that it got out, but it got out, and that's really all that matters. This is now back-to-back outings for Lang, where he's dealt with some frustration. Placed runners already in, and now it's up to Lang to hold the line here.
Need a strikeout and a ground ball double play. Got to find a way to leave it at 1 for this 12th inning.
Why not get greedy, Monty? What about a triple play?
There we go.
Start there. Ball 1 on Leody Taveras. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Well, the Royals have brought the infield in. They're ready to come home on a grounder. It's tapped foul, 1-1. That's it well, deep to center. Isbell's all the way back. It is gone. A grand slam for Leody Taveras. And a one-run game has become a five-run game. And the Royals trail 7-2 in the 12th.
Alex Lang throws the fastball up, middle. Taveras does not miss it.
Second home run of the season for Leody Taveras. And the Orioles have scored 5 in the top of this inning. They have scored 5 on 3 hits and a walk. The Orioles had 3 hits all night entering this inning. All night. Struck him out, 1 away.
You sense the frustration from Alex Lang, wanting to come in and do the job, and strand runners, unfortunately, going to be tough to come back from the 5 spot.
One run is within striking distance in extra innings. 5 runs for a Royals offense that has stranded 15 on base tonight. Might as well feel like getting to Mars.
Yeah.
And it spoils what was a gem of a start from Seth Lugo. Well, admittedly, that was already spoiled. Lugo allowed just 1 hit in his 7 scoreless innings. 7 Ks, 4 walks for Lugo. His 4th quality start in 5 outings. Lugo tonight lowered his season ERA to 1.15.
He was amazing.
He was amazing. And then Matt Strom struck out the side, and the Royals had a 1-0 lead in the top of the 9th. But Lucas Erceg issued 3 walks and gave up the game-tying hit. And the Orioles have taken control of this game in extras. Twice in the top of the 9th inning, the Royals were a Pete Alonso check swing away from a win. And then Samuel Basallo had 2 strikes on him before he tied the game. Back-to-back Ks.
Batter challenging the called strike.
Each team does get a challenge in extra innings if they do not have them. And Henderson was incorrect.
Call confirmed. Baltimore's out of challenges.
The Orioles would get another challenge should this game go to a 13th. Taylor Ward is the 7th man to bat in the inning. Until the 9th inning tonight, Taylor Ward had the only Oriole hit. No matter which way you slice it, Monty, this is a bewildering outcome.
An amazing change. All the opportunities that the Royals had earlier in this baseball game to score runs, to eliminate even the possibility of going into extra innings.
1 run on, or found 2 runs on 12 hits. 15 left on base. Three and 1 on Ward. So what do you do?
Well, the tough thing is, Jake, and when you're going good, a game like this can set you back. But when you're really struggling the way the Royals are, it just almost sets you back even further. It just makes your confidence at a level that's really different. Now they'll come out of it. They'll go on a tear where they get back to playing good baseball, solid baseball. But we're just not seeing it over the last week plus, and it's harder and harder to get out of the hole the deeper you dig it.
In the air to center. Inning over. The Orioles score 5 runs, 4 of them on a Leody Taveras grand slam. And the Royals are down 5 in the 12th. It has been another challenging night for the Royals. They trail the Orioles 7-2, now the bottom of the 12th inning, after Leody Taveras hit a grand slam in the top of the 12th. And the Orioles put up a 5 spot, and now Cameron Foster takes the mound for the Orioles in the bottom of the 12th. Vinny Pasquantino's the place runner. Salvador Perez leads off. Tonight's has been a game of missed opportunities, which is somewhat of an understatement. It began in the very first inning for the Royals. They had the bases loaded with only 1 out, and then Carter Jensen grounded into an inning-ending double play. That served to center, and a base hit. Pasquantino stops at third. Three-hit night for Salvador Perez.
Yeah, good to see from the captain. Pitch up in the zone as he's able to drive that ball to center field.
Runners on the corners for Lane Thomas, who entered as a pinch runner in the 10th inning and then got thrown out trying to advance to third when a ball bounced not all that far away from the third baseman Blaze Alexander.
Jake, when you have plays like that in these type games that are so critical, each 90 feet, and you get thrown out, there's going to be a lot of talk about that. It's an aggressive move. I think if he makes it, everybody's happy. Maybe the Royals win a baseball game from it. But when you don't make it, that's when the criticism lands.
It's a game of inches.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a game of millimeters. But we've talked about this ad nauseum. When you play these kinds of games tight all the way through, when those margins are razor thin, every single one of those outcomes, like you just said, is magnified. 1-2 on Thomas.
I mean, I'll compare it to defense. If you make mistakes in the field, you give them an extra out. You're doing part of the work for them. Same thing if you give away bases. Free outs.
one of 2 outs on the bases tonight. Michael Garcia was thrown out trying to steal. So here's that play. Jack Caglione flied out to center. And then the throw skipped away a little bit, and you see Vance Wilson kind of hold his hand up as if to say don't come, but Thomas gave it a try.
Yeah, I think if there's any mistake on that play, Thomas went back to second base, and he didn't have that good of a lead in order to make that extra feet to get there on time.
In all likelihood, he thought that ball was much further away from any defender once it bounced than it wound up being. He draws a walk. That loads the bases. So theme of the night for the Royals. Bases loaded situations with nothing to show for it. The Royals loaded the bases in the first inning, did not score. The Royals loaded the bases in the third inning, did not score. The Royals loaded the bases in the 6th inning, did not score. Another bases loaded chance here in the 12th. So all of a sudden, potential tying run is in the on-deck circle.
Need another base runner.
Oh, and 2. Third plate appearance for Lofton, who is singled and walked tonight in his return to the big leagues. Facing rookie Cameron Foster, who made his big league debut just last Thursday. On the ground, past Alexander, toward the left field corner. Past Quintino's in. Here comes Salvi. Here comes Thomas. A 3-run double for Nick Lofton. Back in the big leagues in a big way. All of a sudden, it's 7-5, and the potential tying run is coming to the plate.
Little hanging breaking ball, 85 miles an hour, right in the middle. Nick Lofton just does exactly what he needs to do. Pull that ball down the line, pass Alexander at third base, and clears the bases. I was a little surprised to see Vance sending Lane Thomas there. The run really didn't mean anything, but sure enough, he made it.
So now Elias Diaz, his first plate appearance as a Royal at Kauffman Stadium. Yesterday in New York, he was 2 for 3 with a double. This would be an understandable time to maybe text a friend or two, make a phone call and say, hey, just want to let you know this game isn't over yet. There's the first out of the inning. I'm guessing there have been a couple of thrown remotes tonight. Maybe an aggressive laptop close or two.
I think you're exactly right.
But you can still turn it back on.
Never know.
Nick Lofton has given you a reason to. And now Collins bloops one. Henderson runs it down. 2 outs. The Royals are down to their final out. And Kyle Isbell comes to the plate. Single walk, 3-run double to bring the Royals within 2. So 5 runs on 14 hits with 15 left on base. Ties the most left on base by the Royals since last August in Minneapolis. That was the day that Luke Keyshaw hit a walk-off homer for the Twins. And the Royals are down to their final strike. Oh, so close, yet oh so far once again. Still 1-2.
Love to get Michael Garcia to the plate. You never know what might happen with him. Find a way to get on for Izzy.
Izzy's 0 for 4 tonight with a sacrifice bunt. The 1-2. And that is called strike 3. Isbell is trying to challenge, but it is not granted by the home plate umpire, Quinn Wolcott. Izzy did it too late. And the ball game is over. The Royals lose 7-5. It is an 8th consecutive loss, and of the 8, by far the most demoralizing. The Royals are now 7-16 this season, the worst record in Major League Baseball.
You know, Jake, this is the 3rd game all year that the Royals have lost when leading after 8 innings. Last season, they were 73-0 when leading after 8 innings. So this season's been an unusual season in that regard, but you have to find a way for that bullpen to close some things down.
You have to find a way. Tonight, the Royals were 1 strike away multiple times, but the Orioles carry the day with a 5-run top of the 12th inning. Tune in to Royals TV Wednesday, Game 2 of this series. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock with Royals pregame, and the Royals hope for a different outcome tomorrow. That's the beauty of baseball. There is always a game the very next day. For our director, Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cedergren, our associate producers, Sam Abramson, Al Broughton, Sean Van Beesler, Greg Jansen, the producer of pre- and postgame, John Harvey, and for Royals Hall of Famer, Jeff Montgomery, for Bridget Howard, I'm Jake Eisenberg. Thanks for sticking with us tonight at Kauffman Stadium. Stay tuned. Royals postgame presented by Price Chopper with Joel and Hutt is next.